Hello and welcome to Fertility Springboard, the podcast series brought to you by Fertility Help Hub. I'm Eloise, founder of Fertility Help Hub, and over the series I will be bringing you conversations with some of the most influential and inspiring professionals and experts around the world to arm you with useful and empowering thoughts and resources to ease your fertility journey. And don't forget to sign up to the newsletter to make sure you don't miss out on anything. It's packed full of inspiring interviews, resources, discounts and offers, competitions, and real-life stories.
Hello to everyone and welcome today to my guest, who is Robert, founder and inventor of the Fertility Conception Cup. Welcome, Robert.
Hi there, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Very good.
So you have just had a baby, haven't you? We'll go on to this, but thanks to the Fertility, how is it all going?
Really well, thanks. She's now exactly 2 weeks old today, so we're all a little tired here, but no, it's a beautiful thing. It's our second child now. Philip was our first, and Stella is our second. Born 2 weeks ago. Luckily, went very well. Stella and the mother are doing fantastic, and just very excited about having been able to use the product ourselves, and now being a father for the second time.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to hearing more about it. So Robert and I did an Instagram live a couple of months ago now. I think at the beginning of lockdown, there was a lot of interest around the product. So we decided that it would be worthwhile having another conversation and answering a lot of questions that you get asked frequently about the product, about how it's made, how it feels, how it works, and of course where people can buy it. So tell us a little bit more about your background, your professional background, how you combined your personal trying to conceive journey to create this wonderful product, an innovative product, which is helping so many people.
Absolutely. Well, as I said, I'm now the father of two children, lucky father of two children. That for us didn't go the way we had hoped. So like many other couples out there, my wife and I had been trying for 2.5 years to conceive. Obviously with the thought that, you stop contraceptives and then pregnancy comes on its own. And we struggled with that for a very long time. And in the end, looking for OTC solutions at the start of the certain journey, looking for OTC solutions, then going to gynecologists and specialists, taking hormones, doing IUI, IUF. And in the end, I got lucky enough to conceive, and actually Philip was born in November 2017, and Philip was, at the end of the day, the motivation for me to leave my job and try to develop something in the fertility space. And I had been developing medical devices for roughly 15, 16 years. So I knew the regulatory environment and was in great contact with some fantastic gynecologists and fertility specialists. And that's when we started sparring, and, all of a sudden there was a spark, and we thought, why not just push the sperm closer to the cervix where it needs to be? And that was the start of Fertility.
Wonderful. So with Philip, was he conceived naturally in the end?
He was, yeah. We just before we started the first round of IVF, we went on holiday, and he was conceived naturally then, which is fantastic, but it's so frustrating after trying everything for 2.5 years and everybody telling you to take hormones and things like that, to then conceive. It's like a double-edged sword. It's what happened the last 2.5 years? Why were we not able to conceive? So with the joy comes a lot of questions, and that's where I started reaching into it and researching, and finding out a lot of things about almost unexplained infertility, where people just don't know why they're not conceiving. There's nothing wrong with the man and the woman in the couple, and it's just not happening. So that happens to a lot of people.
It's an amazing story because, of course, people, if they can avoid going down the assisted reproductive route, then they will. And obviously, it's a very expensive way to have a family, and it doesn't always grant success. So tell us more about what the Fertility is and how it can help people conceive naturally from home.
Yeah, thanks. Fertility is a conception cup. It's something made of 100% medical silicone, so it looks almost like a sperm cell with the top cut off, and it feels a little bit like a bit similar to these menstrual cups that are also available on the market in terms of the material. It's quite soft and easy to move around. But what you do with it is you take it, and after having sex, after intercourse, you can flip the cup inside out, and you insert it kind of like a tampon. And it just pushes all the sperm cells all the way to the top of the cervix. And it protects them there, keeps them there for 20 to 60 minutes. And in that time, up to 3 times as many sperm cells swim in. A great part of that is while the cup is inside and keeps the sperm there, you can actually get up and walk around. You can take a shower, sit on the couch, watch Netflix, but you don't have to keep your legs in the air like so many people are still doing nowadays.
And you've had some success stories with it already, haven't you? So have they been people who have been trying to conceive for a while, who have been looking at other aids such as, I don't know, gels and things like that, and this is a new product that they hadn't tried? What's the story behind people finding the product and understanding how to use it and how it can help?
Yeah, luckily we've had so many great stories from people. I mean, as an entrepreneur, that's also what you want to do. You want to develop a product and then hear back from people using it. So besides it working with yourself, it's great when we do hear back from our users. And we've had some really good feedback on our websites, on the various retail websites where we sell the product. And you ask how long have people been trying, and the cool thing and the interesting thing is that we have people from all scales of their fertility journey. So we've had people use the cup right away because they say, look, I'm already at a certain age, or I don't want to wait very long, so I want to increase my chances as much as possible from the get-go. So people that have been trying for 2 or 3 months to conceive and started using Fertility. And obviously super happy about it being successful so quickly. And imperative for that is just that it's so easy to use and so comfortable, because then obviously otherwise you wouldn't use it that early on. The other stories are from people that have been trying to conceive for a very long time, and they'd almost try everything to improve their chances of conception. And so we've got a lot of stories from people that have been trying to conceive for a long time. So one of these, I can read out a few of these testimonials to you. But this is someone that wrote, it's a miracle. We've been trying to conceive for 1.5 years, and it finally worked with only 1 use. And so I recommend to use it. So we get this a lot of times, that people have been trying for a year and a half. We even had somebody come in that was trying for 10 years, even did IUI and IVF, and nothing worked. And she used the Fertility one time and it worked. While of course Fertility is also not going to solve every problem, the cool thing is it's a new way of bringing sperm very close to the cervix. So with all these kinds of unexplained fertility issues, that might just be the issue that you were having, that, the sperm was just slow enough. It was just getting stuck in the pH of the vagina, it was, having difficulty getting there. And while you've tried everything else, this might just be the case. Yeah. And for other people, for example, it just triples the amount of sperm that swims in, and just can shorten the journey and avoid frustration down the road. So that's quite fun.
And would you advise people to use an ovulation tracking device whilst using the Fertility?
We would definitely advise for people to track their cycle, so to see when their most fertile days are, because we also recommend to use the Fertility, especially on those days. So whether using an app or other ways to track your cycle, that'll definitely improve your chances of conceiving. So that will help, yeah.
Brilliant. And one of the testimonials is written as an article or a personal story on Fertility Help Hub, recently published. And this lady has talked about, like you, having a difficult journey trying to conceive, about to launch into medical intervention and IVF, and then got pregnant using your product. And in her words, which are in the article, so everyone should go and read this piece on fertilityhelphub.com, because she talks about the emotions around it, but she also talks about how she found using the product. And she says it's the best £30 she'd ever spent. Now, also, she recommends trialing it before the event, so that you can feel comfortable using it and know what to do. So it was very interesting reading it from a user's point of view, in terms of the ease and the recommendation, I guess.
I love hearing back from people about the ease of use of this product. We spent so much time designing the way it flips back, the way that you can fold it up, and the way you can insert it. So, and definitely have a look at the animations that we have on the different websites, on fertility.com and with our partners' website, because it really shows you how to use the product, and it increases the ease of use. And like you said, one of the things that really helps is just practicing before the deed, like you say. We've done a lot of consumer studies where we try to figure out, what is the best way to do this. Some people use some lubricant beforehand and just figure out how to use this new cervical cup. It's not something you've used before, and like you can imagine, when using a tampon for the first time, it's also a bit different, a bit tricky, and you have to get the hang of it. So it does help to do that beforehand. But once people start using it, like you say, we're getting some really good feedback from people. So just like you say, in terms of the ease of use, also what we see is one user just sent us an email, and this one was great to read also. She'd used the Fertility cup, and then she sent us an email afterwards saying, guys, I love this product, and I love the ease of use, and I've just used it and went to a boot camping session and nothing came out, if you know what I mean, smiley. Those are the kind of things that you love to hear when you've put so much passion into developing a product that people are using it and it's so easy to use and they're so happy with it. And especially in terms of the comfort of wearing it, while increasing your chances of conceiving and, not getting in the way of life at all.
Absolutely. So tell us, who can the Fertility help?
Well, in fact, everyone that's trying to conceive. The one thing that's obviously necessary is an ovulation. So if you're not ovulating and if you don't have a regular cycle, when there's no egg, the Fertility doesn't help. So that's the one factor where Fertility can't help.
And also no sperm, because my husband has no sperm. So I guess you need to have the two ingredients, don't you?
True, but there's a lot of people that don't know about the no sperm at the beginning, and I think you make a great point there, because obviously if you don't have any sperm cells, it doesn't mean that you're not ejaculating. So a lot of guys won't know this ahead of time. And I think, in relation to what is it we had just now, men's health week or men's health awareness week, and where also all these stories about male fertility factors came out, and that it's still a big factor of embarrassment for guys to have it tested and say you don't have enough sperm or something like that. But it is a factor that at the beginning you don't know, and I think it's one of the last things that get tested a lot of times, and it's something that I think if you're really worried about it, you should go out and get it tested. If you have a lower sperm count, in those situations, Fertility can again help, because it increases the amount of sperms that do get into the cervix and end up improving the chances with the little sperm that's left.
So I guess also it can help the LGBTQ community for same-sex couples who are doing at-home insemination or surrogacy.
Yeah, definitely. We have a few stories also coming in from same-sex couples, surrogate mothers, etc. Especially when you're obviously using donor sperm in that situation. It's a little bit different because obviously the Fertility would be used after intercourse, and then there's a lot more moisture there. So it's something where I would also advise to test with it ahead of time, but of course, after you've inserted the donor sperm, the Fertility can help to keep it there. So it might make it easier to get up and move around afterwards instead of just having to stay where you are. And in these situations, what we're hearing a lot is that you would meet in a hotel or meet in a certain place, and you might not want to stay there the rest of the night. So then it could help, yeah.
Great. And what about the last 4 to 6 months? What have been the effects of Corona on people trying to conceive, and the conception cup and where it's going and all that sort of thing?
It's been really dual. We've had some great successes because of Corona, actually, because a lot of people were kind of steering away from going to fertility clinics because of the lack of contact. Some fertility clinics were also not taking any clients. So we had a lot of couples that were just before hormone treatment, for example, and then used the Fertility and became pregnant, and then wrote us an email about how great it was that they then didn't have to enter the hormone treatment. So it reduced the barrier to try to use Fertility and gave them some time to think about it and try it out. So that was obviously for us interesting because it helped us gain new clients and have people try the product before they go into the fertility clinics. Conversely, of course, we had situations that retailers were only selling what they would call essential products, so prescription drugs and things like that. So on the business has been overall quite tough because we're obviously launching across Europe. We're now available in more than 22 countries. So when all pharmacies are not selling anything except for essential products, that can make life more difficult. But in countries like the UK and the Netherlands, where we've already launched, we saw a great uplift of the product, and again, saw some of the best stories come out of that time of people that were kind of left to their own means and still managed to succeed without having to take hormones. So yeah, and it's a dual story for us.
And this is a question I get asked all the time, and no doubt you do too, from the Fertility Help Hub readers in the US, desperate to get their hands on the product. What is your plan with the Fertility in terms of next steps and where you're going to be launching it soon?
Obviously, a small company, so we need to focus our efforts. US is definitely high on the priority list, and I know that you guys have sent us a few of the emails as of our UK partners, and we've gotten a lot of them in our direct email box also. So we know that the US is dying to get their hands on it. So we're working on the regulatory procedures now, and we hope to be there in the very near future. And the international plan is we're rolling out, as I said, we're now in about 22 countries. By the end of the year, we should be on almost all continents with Fertility and rolling out from there. So can't
Amazing.
wait to help you guys there too.
Absolutely. And just going back to the product itself, when someone buys it, how long will it last? How many cycles will it last for? And is it easy to wash and look after yourself from home to keep it sterile?
You can use the product for up to 6 months, and you use it then during the fertile days, like we said. So usually you would use it between 3 to 5 times per cycle, and then you could use it for 6 months. It's very easy to wash. So what you do is in between uses, you would either use it every day or every other day during your most fertile days. In between, you would just wash it out with warm water under the tap. Don't use any soap or any detergents or anything like that. That just breaks down the silicone. So just with water. And at the end of the fertile days in your cycle, just boil it out, and then you can keep it in the nice cotton pouch that we deliver the product in to keep it clean and safe. And keep it close to the bed so that when you need to use it, that it's nearby.
Thank you, Robert. And then the best news about this is that for anyone in Europe or the UK who'd like to purchase it, you're kindly offering our readers 30% off. So they need to use the code HUB30 at the checkout. Now, tell us a little bit about your partnership with Ardo, because it'd be really useful for people to understand how they can purchase the product.
Yeah, so like you say, Ardo is the ones that are actually providing all these possibilities. Also the interview with you. So definitely big thanks to Ardo for all their work here and for providing the discount, of course, to everyone via Fertility Help Hub. We came across Ardo very early on when we were developing the product, and Ardo is actually an international company that has a big focus on breast pumps. So they provide breast pumps for mothers that are breastfeeding. So Ardo has some of the best breast pumps out there. We use it ourselves. We're very happy with that. But Ardo has a great focus on that in kind of family planning and family healthcare, and has a great team in various countries. We also work together with them in Germany and Switzerland and Austria, so we have a very good partnership with them. And specifically, Ardo UK is doing great work for us in the UK, presenting the product to retailers and making sure that obviously the marketing happens correctly and the product gets out there to the UK users. There you'll find the Fertility straight away and be able to purchase it with the discount that you just mentioned.
People should head to FERTI, fertility-lily.co.uk to purchase and benefit from 30% off this exclusive Fertility Help Hub discount, where they type in Hub 30 into the checkout box. Also, we've got the link within our podcast section, so go to the Fertility Help Hub website to find that too. And tell us a bit more about how they can follow you on social media as well, Robert.
Yeah, we are on obviously Instagram and Facebook, and you can go straight to our website. There's a lot of information there. Like I said, from animations to explanations to FAQs and stuff like that. And if you can't find the answer to your questions, do reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook or via the email on the website. We're here for you. We're happy to answer any questions. We know it's a new, innovative product, so a lot of people do have questions about how to use it. We're very approachable. Reach out and we'll try to help you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Really, really useful information.
Pleasure. Thank you, Louise, for your time. It's been great to spend another half an hour with you.